I'm getting positive news about the transfer of Mohamed Kudus to the club Arsenal, despite heavy links to the club Brighton and Hove. There's still a lot of hope for the club Arsenal that it could definitely finish this deal. And not forgetting that David Raya is one of those football players that is going to be signing for the club Arsenal, with Matt Turner already heading out of the club, making an exit, and he is, we should really say, is no longer an Arsenal football player, as he's had a deal that has definitely been agreed. Everything is almost done for the football player, and at this moment in time, things are moving on quite well for the club. Arsenal, as Arsenal is seeing off Matt Turner and looking at the Brentford goalkeeper David Raya, who is most likely going to end up at the club Arsenal, as we consider it as a deal that is done, really, because everything about this transfer is done and we are waiting for an official announcement. We're going to be talking about quite a lot of things, and welcome from that massive win. Welcome from the win, the Arsenal Manchester City win. It was quite a brilliant game for the club Arsenal. Arsenal managing to beat Manchester City on penalties. It ended 1-1. Leandro Trossard really coming out. Palmer was scored for Manchester City in the first half, was it? The first goal was from Manchester City, then Arsenal equalizes, and that was Leandro Trossard, really, from a Brighton and Hove football player. He equalizes for the club Arsenal, and that takes Arsenal to the penalties, and Arsenal did not miss out on any penalty shoots, and whereas Manchester City really did not perform quite well, and that was very good for the club Arsenal, and it really shows us, gives us a sense of direction that Arsenal is going to be a much better team the coming season. Really, some people were saying it might be just a very good season for Arsenal. Last season was just a good season for Arsenal, but I don't think the people were saying that. No, exactly know what's going on with the club Arsenal at this moment in time. Arsenal is doing much better. It's a better club the way it is. I mean, a club that has Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, Urian Timber. All these are new signings, and yet even more signings are definitely coming. Let us know what you definitely think about the new signings, and also what you think about the game that happened between Arsenal and Manchester City. It was quite a brilliant game, I must say. It was a good game, and it showed the level at which Arsenal is improving, and really Arsenal competing with Manchester City and beating Manchester City. That was quite great. Hope you remember that almost the last games that Arsenal has played with Manchester City, there's not been a positive result for the club Arsenal, but this was definitely very wonderful. I watched the game and I was like, yeah, I can see quite a lot of improvement, and Arsenal tried to attack on a couple of times, despite the fact that Manchester City in the previous games, it was always dominant, 100% dominant. You could not see a chance of Arsenal really winning a game when when the two clubs were playing before. But when you watch this game, you realized that there was that bit of hope that Arsenal could beat Manchester City, and Leandro Trossard really finished it off. And when he went to penalties, the Arsenal football players really were quite calm and very confident about how they were taking the penalties, and it was really quite brilliant, with quite a number of people shaking, saying that Fabio Vieira could repeat what he did at Manchester United. With Manchester United penalties recently, Fabio Vieira missed out on the penalty, but Fabio Vieira's penalty this time round was quite a very good one, and that was quite good, and really the club Arsenal beat Manchester City, and that was quite good. The Community Shield is in Manchester City's hands at this moment. Not Manchester City, Arsenal's hands. I almost said something, but so Manchester City, are we saying goodbye to dominancy of the club Manchester City? It's an Arsenal era, and we predict the coming season is going to be a very brilliant one. So at this moment in time, we know that the Brentford goalkeeper David Raya is heading to the club Arsenal. And why are we saying that he's definitely going to be heading to the club Arsenal? Because when you see how what's really happened already, Arsenal has already had a few talks with him, and everything has gone on quite well. Everything gone on as anticipated, things moving on in the right direction for the club Arsenal, really, with also David Raya agreeing personal terms, agreeing the deal, and also Arsenal agreeing the price and everything. And what seals the deal, really, what seals everything, what seals the deal is Matt Turner. The fact that Matt Turner is heading for an exit, actually has already we should say has already finished with this exit. This exit is we should consider it as a done deal. The fact that he's now out of the picture, Matt Turner is out of the picture in terms of playing for the club Arsenal. Is not going to get any more game time. He's heading for yet another club, so that brings in David Raya as a perfect replacement, and David Raya will have to compete for the number one spot with the goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale performed quite well. He was a brilliant one during the Manchester City Arsenal game. Aaron Ramsdale is world class. He's definitely a very wonderful one, and he plays quite well. He's always in the goals for the club Arsenal. Quite a very brilliant one, and I must say I like Aaron Ramsdale. The way he keeps himself quite well in the goals is definitely very brilliant. Let us know what you definitely think in the comment section about the two goalkeepers whom you think should start for the club Arsenal. Should it be Aaron Ramsdale, or it should be David Raya, the new goalkeeper? Is supposed to be arriving at the club Arsenal anytime from now. Anyway, enough of David Raya. Let's talk a little bit about Mohamed Kudus. So recently, Mohamed Kudus was linked to Arsenal heavily, and after Arsenal, he was linked to Chelsea. And at this moment in time, Brighton and Hove come out and say they want him, and they go on and put in a few bids. But Mohamed Kudus really has said he wants to take a bit of his time. Mohamed Kudus does not want to rush into things. He wants to take a bit of time and understand how things will will run. He doesn't want to make a move quickly to Brighton and Hove, despite the Brighton and Hove want him so bad and are willing to pay him quite a good amount of money. But he's also looking at his future as a football player, and still the club Arsenal has a chance, a possibility of signing Mohamed Kudus from Ajax Amsterdam. It will be remembered that he is a former football player of Jurien Timber, and also the fact that there's been quite a lot of pressure on the football star Bukayo Saka. We could definitely be seeing another football player really coming in that plays the same position, and that's Mohamed Kudus, that could reduce a bit of the pressure that is put on him, because he plays almost every game that Arsenal has to play. So Mohamed Kudus, still there is a bit of chance for him to sign for the club Arsenal. Do not give up. Let's not think that it's really done for the club Arsenal when it comes to Mohamed Kudus. But again, wonderful game, I must say. A wonderful game for those of you who watched that game. Really, it was a brilliant game. Manchester City dominance. No more Manchester City dominance. I think it's an end. It's the end of an era for the club Manchester City, and it's Arsenal's era. That's what I definitely think, and I'll be bringing you a more detailed video about that, about Arsenal's new era. I mean, getting all these football players and adding them to a club that finished to a squad that finished second in the Premier League. What does that show you? Shows you that number one could be the next position, the next place for the club Arsenal. Mikel Arteta has definitely transformed Arsenal, and still is transforming the club Arsenal. Let us know what you definitely think in the comment section, and please do not forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out whatever I've got to bring to you, as long as it's sports and as long as it is Arsenal related right about here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your very host Abu KALS. So I'm definitely right about here to bring to you the latest straight as it comes in from the club Arsenal, as we've been talking about a little bit about football, what happened in that game between Manchester City and Arsenal, Community Shield. Arsenal has already kept 2 trophies, and the third trophy is definitely underway. And also, despite the fact that Arsenal's kept 2 trophies, we're going to be seeing a few more trophies really coming in from the club Arsenal. And we've also talked about David Raya and his move to the club Arsenal. That is going to happen anytime from now. And also, do not forget that Mohamed KUDUS, do not give up on Mohamed KUDUS. Don't think that Mohamed KUDUS's deal is one that is done and there is no chance for the club Arsenal again. Please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever I've got to bring to you, as long as it's sports and as long as it's Arsenal related right about here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your very host Abu KALS. Thank you and goodbye for now.